Howdy, I am Camille Browder, and I am graduating in May with my master's in special education with a focus in applied behavior analysis from Texas A&M University. I began my pursuit of a career in special education when I was in high school. My cousin has a rare genetic disorder that I began learning about from my aunt at a young age. I began providing assistance for my cousin outside of the home for social events and continued into providing respite care for several other individuals ranging in age and disabilities. I then pursued my undergraduate degree from Baylor University and graduated with a Bachelor's of Science in Education and a supplemental degree in special education. I began my teaching career as a resource teacher for 3 years and then taught first grade for 3 years at the same school. I then moved to a new district and taught resource again for 1 year, and now I teach in a structural behavior classroom with 9 students diagnosed with autism. All of these past experiences utilized many aspects of ABA that I did not realize, and I use my current knowledge from this program on a daily basis with my current students in my class. In my classroom, I use positive reinforcement, visual schedules, social skills training, social stories, preference assessments, and many other tools that I have learned during my time at TAMU. I also use many of the literacy and reading tools, interventions, and information that we learned during our literacy courses. Overall, this program has increased my knowledge significantly in the fields of special education and ABA. ABA is a growing field that I am proud to be a part of. ABA is a socially relevant, systematic approach that uses scientific and research-based interventions to improve the behaviors of individuals. Behavior analysts consistently utilize data to evaluate and adapt their approach to the improvement of behavior. The assignments that I completed during my coursework and will outline next exhibit examples of work that will further improve my future with ABA. My first project that I wanted to talk about is my culminating project for SPED 699, which encompassed many aspects learned during this course. Throughout this project, I was able to identify a student with challenging behavior, write a measurable definition of that behavior, and track that behavior using a data sheet that I created. Using all of that information, I was able to form behavior goals to work on increasing positive behavior. I gathered data based on those goals and created charts that would graph that data. This project also gave me the opportunity to determine social validity of the intervention using a social validity scale. Finally, I created an intervention plan and determined treatment integrity. My next project was from SPED 642, in which I completed a project on the importance of social skills and simple implementation procedures for specific skills. Within this intervention project, I reviewed literature on social skills and interventions to increase pro-social behaviors for individuals. This project increased my abilities in identifying necessary interventions for specific students and breaking down those interventions into steps in order to facilitate those specific interventions for students. My final project that I have included in my Efolio is my single case research project for EPSY 630. This extensive project allowed me to research a specific student in my class, or 3 students in my class, and determine a skill to examine based on previous peer-reviewed research. Throughout this class, I learned the steps to evaluate and write a single case, multiple baseline research study utilizing systematic replication. In my single case study, I chose 3 students from my behavioral class as participants and examined the use of social stories to decrease tantrum behavior. Each of my students are diagnosed with autism spectrum disorder and exhibit tantrum behaviors at different times throughout the day. During the baseline intervention, I gathered data based on those defined behaviors using a partial interval recording system and graphed that information as a percentage. For the intervention phase, I read the social story one-on-one with the student right before the challenging time that was documented throughout their day. I would then take data on that tantrum behavior during the next 20 minutes, utilizing the same partial interval recording system as during the baseline intervention. During my research, I implemented social stories as an antecedent intervention to decrease undesired behaviors. This project included reviewing previous research, writing an observational and measurable definition of the behavior, creating data collection procedures, collecting the data, implementing the intervention, and determining the effectiveness of the intervention using visual analysis. After all of these components were completed, I wrote my single case study using the techniques and outline taught throughout the course. Overall, the information that was provided during my time at TAMU has significantly furthered my knowledge in special education and ABA. I will continue to use these skills in my current position and as I seek out future jobs in the fields of education and behavior. Thank you to Texas A&M and to my wonderful professors for the past 2 years. Gig 'em!